She's a lot bit boo-boo, and she's doing the do. Welcome to the Woo and the Do podcast, where Irina and Christine Michelle teach you how to combine the spiritual and the physical. Because you get to use all of you and the universe to manifest a life you enjoy. Come join us. Let's have some fun. Hi, it is Christine Michelle.
And Irina Pichura.
And we are here with the Woo and the Do podcast. Today is a great podcast. It's a question that both of us get over and over again. And we see our clients come to us and they have no clue what to do. So we are talking about the answer to your success. And hint, it's not your next coach or your next course. Even though we're coaches, we know how important having a coach is, but we aren't the answer. So we're going to show you the answers to your success. And we're going to share 4 steps to tapping into your genius. So, Irina, do you have a story about this? Were you searching and looking in all the places before I was?
Yeah, for sure. And it always pops up because I'm following all of the coaches in the industry. So I oftentimes get the sponsored posts, every third, fourth thing that I see on Instagram or Facebook will be something that is quote unquote the answer to my success.
Right. It's so easy, right? Because we've been taught since we were children. We talked about this in the intuition episode. So go to the intuition episode. I believe it's episode 3. If you haven't watched that, definitely listen to it or watch it if you're on YouTube or if you're on the podcast. But we talked about, as kids, we've been taught to look outside of ourselves. There's no way you could know the answer, right? There's no way that it could be lying inside of you, or that you have your own genius, or that you have your own skill set. And it's so important. And another reason why I brought this up is because recently I was thinking about moving from corporate, moving into my own business and all of that stuff. And it was funny because I was looking outside of myself to the next coach and to the next course and all of those things. And it wasn't until after I had done this meditation moment that I really just really tapped in. And I was like, well, who knows more than I do about running a business? I managed several billion-dollar businesses and launched millions of things. And I've been in marketing for 20 years. And I was really looking for these people who have done really good for themselves, or they just started and they're doing well, but I was looking to them for the answer instead of really tapping into my own knowledge and my own soul, all of those things. And when you listen to everyone's story, right? So if you listen to everyone's oh, I did it, my success story, all of them say, well, I realized that I could do it my own way. Mm-hmm. You talk to 1 million entrepreneurs that all are at 7 figures and above. All of them have done it all a different way. They've never done it the exact same way. They don't do the exact same funnels. Some of them don't even do funnels at all. Some of them have an email list. Some of them don't. Some of them, so it's there's so many various ways for you to tap into your genius and bring that to the world, or just do you and find your own success. And it doesn't have to be in someone else's course or someone else's having coaching from someone.
Yeah, it's so funny because every time that I enroll in a course or used to enroll in courses or start just working with someone, I'm like, this is going to be my answer to success. This is going to be the next level thing. This is going to totally bring in more clients, more money. This is going to be the thing that's going to catapult me into success. And it happens, because of the language that you find in these ads, right? It's my 6-figure months. It's so intriguing and so juicy. You just want to download everything and opt into everything and just work with those people, hop into the course, then find out this magic secret sauce that they're all keeping from us.
It's so true. And it's funny because we do think, oh, they must have the magic. And it's what does that sound like? It's they must have it because I don't. Right? I've got to look at them because I don't have it and there's something missing here.
Right.
So when I was thinking about it, and I was just thinking and just really tapping it too, and I was thinking about our own successes and how we built up our career. And I said, okay, what are 4 ways for you to tap into your genius, right? To tap into your genius. And the first one has a lot to do with what you just said. And the first one is take your notes, get your pen and paper out, stop scrolling. Like, stop the scroll, especially when you're in a place where you feel lost.
Mhm.
Don't go to Facebook, don't go to Instagram, don't go to even LinkedIn now. Like, no one has that answer except for it's inside of you. Not saying that when you do tap in, you might open your eyes and you'll be expanded. When I say stop the scroll, I mean stop the scroll when you're frantically looking for help and you're seeking. When you're on, you could scroll into Facebook and be like, yeah, that's the course, or that's the coach, or that's the person. But that comes from a totally different energy than when you're scrolling. You're like, I need help and I can't figure out how to sell and I need new clients, or I need this, I need that.
Desperate energy, right?
Yes, that desperate energy is going to bring back a desperate result, right? Because what you put in is what you're going to get out. But that was the first thing, because I did find myself like scrolling, especially in the beginning. It's like, okay, how do I do this? Or what do I need to do to this? And it really was just really seeking outside of me and really not tapping into what I wanted.
Right. And you already know so much, right? Like you mentioned, like you had 20 years in corporate in marketing. So, you're trying to market your business. Like what else can someone teach you that you don't already know, right?
Right, exactly. And it was funny because I was like, well, this is online marketing. I'm like, well, I marketed the businesses online and they all have online presences. So, and even if I didn't, like, let's take someone who maybe just got out of college, or let's take someone who is brand new and doesn't have the experience. They still can slow down and stop the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 2, I think the one that really helped me tap in was meditating. So it just 10 minutes or 5 minutes of quieting my mind, going within to really ask my soul, ask guidance, like kind of like, what would the next step be? Or where should I go? Or what should I do? And then you can jump back on Facebook, because your energy will be different and you'll be more like, I'm receiving this answer, versus frantically looking for it outside of yourself because someone else knows more than you, versus you tapping into someone else's knowledge or using this coach because you know that you felt aligned with them. Like you found your coach because you felt aligned with her. You're like, oh, she uses all the things I use. This is exactly what I was thinking. Like that's, I was aligned with my initial mentor because I just felt her energy. She was bringing something to the table that I really knew was inside of me that I wanted to bring forth.
Yeah.
But it wasn't from a desperate, she knows more than I know, let me use all of that stuff, because if I do it exactly her way, I'll get the success.
Well, I actually found my coach by taking your advice. I remember you telling me to go to sleep right before going to sleep. It's kind of meditation, right? You're asking, okay, like, how do I make more money, or what's like the next level thing that I could do in my business? And I knew that it was creating funnels for my course. And then all of a sudden this coach pops up, and that is exactly what she's talking about. And the way that the coaching is presented, it's like so aligned with what I need. And we just spoke about this. I need accountability to get things done throughout the week and to be held accountable to move forward. And also, I mean, she speaks about this too, is like just narrowing in on that one thing and stopping, scrolling, and just focusing your attention on that one thing, which is something we spoke about on the last podcast, I believe.
Yes. Oh, check out the last podcast. If you haven't watched it, we were talking about how to remain more productive. I think, was that the last one? I think it's the one before it, right?
One before it, yeah. And
we were talking about being more productive and focusing on that one thing. That's so right. Meditation, you can do that in so many ways. We'll have to do a podcast because it doesn't have to be sitting quiet and just, it could be listening to a guided meditation. It could be focusing on everything and just allowing yourself to be aware of everything that's going on. It really is just to take you out of all the craziness that's going on in your head and to bring you back into being aware, right? Is helping your awareness. And I love writing the God to-do list, the universe to-do list, however you want to call it.
Love that. I love when I heard that.
Yeah, before I go to bed, to say, yo, God, this is what you got to do. And I'm putting it off on you. Thank you. Good night. And allowing that. And then with knowing that, like, I found some of my best courses. I said, okay, I don't know what to do right now. So I said, well, God, when I wake up, I'm asking you, to let me know what my next course is. Let me know what I should launch next. Let me know what's the next thing, right? And then going to sleep. And then, of course, waking up at like 4 a.m. and be like, oh, it's it, right? And God could have waited until 7 or 8. Our universe, like, come on, wait until 10. But it was 4 a.m. I was like, yeah, this is perfect, right? But that was, stopping the scroll, stop looking outside of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Something practical you can do, and then meditate or just ask for guidance. Go within. And just really listen to what happens, right? So you said, I feel funnels are right. Then you got more evidence that was to go. And then the coach came,
It's so crazy because I literally saw her teaching and speaking about the thing that I wanted to do the next day, like the next morning. And I'm like, this chick is cool too. The messaging was exactly for what I needed, right? But it came from within. Like, I knew I wanted more freedom, more fun, more vacation. That's not what I currently have in my business, right? And I wanted to have something that's helping more people without me having to go out there and do these stressful launches, right? So that's exactly what she was teaching on. She was an expert in it. She's done it for 4 different courses. And I'm like, this is my chick, right? And I found that super quick. I enrolled in her course within like an hour of me seeing that it wasn't even actually available. That's the other fun thing is like her group coaching program already filled up. It was 10 people max. And I happened to just reach out. I'm like, hey, it wouldn't hurt just to reach out to see if I can get a seat in the coaching program. And all of a sudden she wrote back to me because she's in Australia. Couple hours later when she woke up and said, yeah, I'll be more than happy to extend one more seat over to you. So that was really cool.
That's amazing. And we're going to have to do a show on co-creation too, because who knows what she was asking for. Maybe she was like, oh, I would love one more person. Like, yeah, that'd be awesome. So her ask connected with your ask, and then you guys both like co-created together in something that is beautifully working out very well right now. So I love it. So we talked about the first 2 of the 4 ways. So we talked about stopping the scroll, stop looking outside of yourself, stop looking at Instagram and Facebook and all of the sponsored ads and all the places for your answer. And then 2, going within, right? Meditating, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, or just even, like I said, writing your God to-do list, which taps into number 3, which is journaling. And you guys know I am the journal queen. I love journaling. I feel like it really, like there's some science behind it. Writing, brain, it's clicking. It knows that it's important, whatever you're writing about, but also it helps with, I know a lot of people speak their affirmations, which I do as well, but writing them down also helps because 1, it's like you're focused. When you're writing something, you're not all willy-dilly writing. You have to focus on what you're writing, which helps. And I love visualization, but I also write out my visualization and then I speak it into an audio and then I let it play while I'm visualizing because your mind can go all of the places while you're visualizing, right? So visualization is great, but it always has something to do with what I've written down. So with journaling, in order to tap into your genius, you could just ask the question, like you do the God to-do list, God do this, bring me this. You could just ask like, what tap into my success? What's the next thing I should launch? Where's the next job I should go to? Or what's the next position? And just really listen and write whatever you're hearing. Even if it's nothing, say, okay, I'm not hearing nothing, so I guess I should be where I am, right? And just write. And if you continue to just write and say, okay, I'm not hearing anything, I guess I should stay there. Well, but I don't want to stay there, but I really know I would love to be more creative. And you'll start to flow, but sometimes you have to prime the pump. So journaling can really, really, really help you.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. So, and I know you're not a journaler, like you are not into journaling. But
so I just got my first journal today. It's called the 5-Second Journal by Mel Robbins. So I'm trying to become more of a journaler because I do know the science behind it. I just never find like that's my thing and I don't want to force it. So I got the 5-second one. It's really quick. If you guys want to check it out, it's on Amazon. Really cool journal.
Yes, it's really cool. And then also, if you have journaling questions, you could do the 5-day journal mini course that I have.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to journal. There's no wrong way.
Yeah.
And it is something that I usually spend in my morning. I have an alignment practice where I do the meditation for, 10 to 11 minutes, but then I just set a timer and I write for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever time that I feel like I want to set there. And then that journaling usually is me stepping into the reality where I am the 7-figure businesswoman, the reality where I have what I have and the feelings that go there. So it's all about me with journaling with feelings, which is the same as you'll notice when you write for a specific time, you go into the alpha state, which is the perfect state for visualization. And so when you write and you're doing your journaling, if you do it with feeling, it's almost equal to you doing a visualization and it takes you there. Plus you have the focus. So that's why I love it. So check it out. But so we talked about the first three of the 4 steps. So it was stopping the scroll, like stop looking everywhere else. Start looking inside. You can do that, tapping into it by meditating, and you're doing your God to-do list, sleeping and allowing God to bring it to you, allowing the universe to bring it to you, just opening yourself up to that. And then journaling, which I know can be a challenge for some people, but there are easy ways to just write and listen to whatever's coming out. There's no wrong way. And then the final step is really just taking the step.
Yeah.
Tiny little steps will also, one, get the universe behind you so that those tiny steps can become 100 steps. But then also just taking those small steps forward will bring you more ideas and more ideas. And you'll say, oh, I'm going to do this course. And then you start doing it. You're like, I don't want to do a course. I really want to do this. This is exciting me more. And then you start to shift and change into those directions. But you can't, you want to be successful, but there's a difference between the desire to be successful and actually doing it, right? The desire is so strong if you don't do it.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people, especially on Facebook, they keep writing, I feel stuck. I feel stuck. I feel stuck. I feel stuck. So what are you going to manifest, right? You're going to feel more feelings of feeling stuck. And I think that taking an action, whether it's the wrong path, the right path, whatever path, right? If it's the wrong path, let's say, right, it will lead you towards the right one. It will show you this is not what I want, right? So then you can shift and change and go into the right path, right? But taking that action step to the wrong path will lead you down the right path. So, or you could just go down the right path. It could be one of two things, right? So you're ultimately going to end up in the right path anyway. So I recommend just taking action, right? Whether it's your career, you're not sure, this is what I want to do. I think there's nothing worse than, I think I saw something today, I've been taking courses on this, someone's in school paying for this kind of education, this education, that education, nothing wrong with it, right? But if you don't get started with something and you don't start doing something, you're going to be in this cycle of just learning forever and not taking that action to start making money and helping and making the impact in this world.
Yeah, 100%. It's because that stuck energy that you're feeling, then the easiest thing to get the stuck energy moving is to move.
Oh, yeah, physically move, right?
Right. Physically move and literally do something. Even you can even tap in, you use your meditation, you use your journal, you tap into what's my next step. The first thing that you think, just do it. Like Irina said, there is no really wrong path because the whole path is taking you exactly where you need to go. And by you tapping in and saying, I trust myself and what actions I take, whether they work out the way I expect them to or not, doesn't mean they're wrong. It just means that was showing you what else you would like to do or what you'd rather. There's no wrong there. So that's just so important. I think these steps, how easy they are. Remember to get your pencil and paper out. Stop scrolling. You can meditate, then you can journal, and then just do it. Those are 4 easy steps that's going to help you tap into your genius and stop looking outside of yourself. Stop looking for the next coach. Stop looking for the next course and looking for this and looking for that, and really tap into something that's inside. And then you can really start taking steps towards what you really want.
Yeah. And if you want to take drastic measures, you could always unfollow a lot of people and maybe get rid of Facebook for a little while, right? Deactivate your account, because I know how difficult it could be to get off social media. Even though I'm kind of doing a detox myself, I do go there to communicate with friends and family. Just getting rid of like social media for a little while, maybe deleting the apps or something like that, can help. I know, like
turning off notifications.
Yeah. Oh, I did that and it really helped.
Yeah, so like turning off notifications. And if you use social media for your business, or you do that to connect with your friends, like you said, maybe it's unfollowing certain things, or when you see an ad that you're like, okay, I don't want to see anymore, you can tap the little buttons and you can say the 3 dots and say, okay, I don't want to hide this type of ad, and you don't have to see it anymore. But sometimes it's also like, don't feel drawn to having to post or having to do this, to start to use your own power and say, you know what, that's interesting, or I normally like to listen to that person, but I'm going to step away and I'm going to focus on me. And then that shows you kind of how powerful you really are when you're like, I'm going to choose me right now, and I'm going to choose my desires. So
you may have to make those choices a lot.
Yeah.
Throughout the day.
In and out, you're going to keep doing that. So
yeah.
Fun deal. All right, that is it for us. I think that these 4 steps, you use them, try them out, especially if you're trying to figure out what is your next thing to do, what's your next course to launch, your next business revenue, or how to drive revenue for your business. Like you were asking, try these 4 things out. I want you to like go to your Instagram, try these things out, but then go in your story and tell us which one you tried and how it worked, and tag us in there at the Woo and the Do, and let us know what's up. We're just super excited to share these steps with you, and I know how they've impacted my clients and many, many more people, and I'm really looking forward to hearing how they impacted you.
For sure.
Yay! So is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think those are great steps to get started. Even if you start with one of them, it could lead you down the path of finding what you want.
Yes, just stopping the scroll might help.
Yeah.
Detox your mind from everything else, so you won't be like, oh my God, that's my answer, and that's my answer, and that's my answer. And then you can start to write the God to-do list. I'm telling you, it's super amazing. And when you know that the answer's coming when I wake up, and even if you're like, I don't know, the first thing you think is going to be it, just write it down.
Yeah, so, that's the other thing is like writing that down in the morning. Sometimes in the morning I'm a little bit foggy. So writing down like whatever dream maybe I had, whatever my subconscious was trying to tell me, and just like journaling first thing in the morning is a great step.
So awesome. So yay. So well, we're so happy to have you, and definitely subscribe to this podcast so that you can get notified every time we have new uploads. And if you're watching on YouTube, definitely subscribe to this channel, because there will be more and more of these videos every week. So we look forward to hanging out with you again. Remember
Thank you guys.
Yay. Remember to step into your woo-woo goodness and do the do. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to the Woo and the Do podcast. If you loved it as much as we loved recording it for you, please leave a review. And join me and Irina on Facebook and Instagram at The Woo and The Do. Also, please come hang out with us in the lounge on Facebook. It is our insiders group. You'll have access to me and you'll have access to Irina, and we will give you show notes and freebies and all kinds of amazingness, and you can connect with more listeners of this podcast and have a listening party. In the meantime, remember to embrace all of your woo-woo goodness and continue to take that divine inspired action and do the do. Bye.